Hey guys, Michael Mayer here with eXp Realty. So, just trying to make a video here to tell you guys what I've been up to. I've kind of been hiding away for a little while. I feel like I've been social distancing for a while now. Not because of the virus, but because I was building this, my studio. So, I haven't really told a whole lot of people about this. What I'm doing is I'm going to start a new YouTube series, YouTube channel, I guess. It's going to be called The Retrade. This is going to be a real estate informational kind of show. We'll make it fun. It's going to be entertaining. Going to have some cool skits, cool little segments that we'll do. You'll see those as we roll them out. But today I just wanted to talk to you guys, let you know what I've been up to. Probably showing some pictures of the video of the studio here, show you what it looks like. And then, I don't know, just catch up with you guys. So.
We got a lot to catch up on too pretty soon.
Yeah.
We got a lot to catch up on too for the past couple weeks. So
let me introduce this guy here to my right. This is my buddy Chris Collins.
Yes,
and
sir.
If you don't recognize him,
I got rid of my beard 6 days ago. Went to Michigan, drank a little bit, got talked into shaving my beard off. So don't go to Michigan. Don't drink a lot there if you got something to lose.
For you that don't know Chris Collins, this guy had the most fabulous beard.
About down to here.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic. I'll throw up a picture of it in post. But yeah, he had a really nice beard. And he
I look like I'm 17 again.
Yeah. I'm going to card you right now.
No, 3 times already in the past week I've gotten carded. People say I should be in high school right now, so I mean it's bound to happen this year.
What else have you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
He was just telling me that we were talking about his beard, and we were talking about how he used to. He knew when to trim it when he'd start chewing on it.
Yeah. So whenever I would eat, I would if I got something in my mouth or like hair while eating, I would always know I'd have to trim it back, and then that'd be my time to know whenever I need to trim it around my mustache and everything.
When you start chewing on it.
Yeah. Beard hair doesn't taste that great.
What's the biggest feeling right now? Like
it's cold.
Cold.
My face is cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, my dad had a mullet. He had this fantastic mullet, and of course I did too because I wanted to be my dad. So I had the spiky hair, and I had like the cut strikes in the side, right? And I had the mullet. And I remember in 7th grade, my mom finally talked me into shaving it off. And I remember how cold it was winter, and how cold the back of my neck was.
Well, I did this in Michigan, so when I was there, I'd step outside and I put all my jackets above my face up to my nose. It was ridiculous. Everybody's laughing at me, but going home to Michigan, no matter what time of year it is, they always laugh because I wear sweatshirts and jackets.
So, yeah, and you just got back like, what, 2 days ago to here? 3 days ago?
3 or 4 days ago, yeah.
Really hasn't seen too many people, so for most of you out there, surprise, no more beard.
New face, who dis?
We got to change your Instagram profile from Fear the Beard LV to...
Where's the beard LV?
Where's the beard LV?
You need a goodie.
So, what else is going on there, guys? April 1st tomorrow. If you haven't filled out your census, well, gone online, you should probably do that. I know a lot of people avoid it, don't realize what it's for, but it's actually to let the government know where everybody's at. Not so they can come and lock you up, but it's so they know where to put funding.
Unless they know your record.
Unless you're this guy.
I got a clean record. I've never been arrested.
Yeah.
Never been put in a cop car either.
I've been arrested once. Warrant for a speeding ticket that I never paid.
3 speeding tickets my whole life.
3 your whole life?
Yeah. None of them showed up on my record.
I got one doing 178 in my Corvette.
I got pulled over, would have gotten attempted manslaughter, endangering a passenger in my Cadillac CTSV.
I should have got all those tickets,
Yeah.
but the guy was really cool. I was by myself. I was out in the middle of the desert in Utah on Easter Sunday. I'd been out at the sand dunes all day, and I had to get a ride back like at 2 in the morning to pick up a part to get my sand car going, and I got back into my vet to drive out because I caught a ride back in. Right? And I was in the desert, and I knew this road. I've driven it all my life. And so I was like, let's see what the car will do. I only had the car for 2 months.
Is it the road in California going right in?
Well, this is in Utah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say if it's in the one in California going to the dunes right there, everybody speeds on that road.
No, this is Little Sahara Sand Dunes. A lot, actually better road than that, though. That's a hairy road to be going real fast on. But yeah, I was flying, and it was like 7 in the morning, and there was nobody. And I thought for sure I was be fine. And then I see some headlights coming towards me, so I was like, I shouldn't go past anybody this fast, so I just started coasting. And of course I flew by a cop, and I looked in the rearview mirror and saw that he was turning around, so I thought in my head, like, he'll never catch me, but this road doesn't have turnoffs, so he'll just radio ahead,
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So I just pulled over and waited, and I don't remember how long it took. Might have 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
'Cause I was flying. And he finally pulls up, and he comes up, and he goes, "Thanks for waiting."
Well,
like, I didn't have anywhere to go.
That's
He's
how
like,
mine
"You're right."
was. I was on leave. I just had the car for, I think it was 13 days. I had a Missouri title, Kansas registration for temp tag, and then I was back home in Michigan. And so I was running. I seen the cop car, seen the front end of it. I slammed on the brakes right before he could see my nose dive, and I came up and started coasting. And then once I seen him pull off to the side, turn his lights on, I was like, well, pulling over, turn everything off, I'm going to jail. This is it.
Yeah.
This is where I end. So.
And how big was your ticket?
5 over.
That's all?
That's all.
Yeah, my guy was in the mess too. He come up and asked me why I was going so fast, and I told him all the troubles I was having all weekend to working on my sand car, and even my quad was down, my drag car bike, and I told him all what I experienced when I was out there. I'd been in town because I was working out of town at that time. I think I was in Michigan actually working. I flew back.
They're all assholes there.
And when was this? This was like 2003, I think. So I fly back into Salt Lake, and I spent 4 days building a whole new rear end on my sand car, a 5-link suspension. Went from trailing arms because I destroyed one.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a jig to build another one, so I built a 5-link, and it just, he felt bad for me because I'd been working on my car for like 4 days before the dunes, and I got to the dunes, and I was there 2 days already and hadn't driven it once, and I just needed spark plugs.
But I mean, if you're doing it correctly, you're gonna break something.
Well, this was just building a whole new system, and then my spark plugs were fouled, and at the time nobody carried those spark plugs out there because it's a Hayabusa street bike motor, and nowadays everybody has the spark plug because it's the same spark plug they use in their razors, but there wasn't razors there. And so the cop actually felt bad for me, and then I was like, and I've owned the car for about 2 months, and I wanted to see what it would do. And he's like, oh, right on, how was it? And I'm like, dude, it was awesome. And he's like, aren't you worried about like jerking the steering wheel? And I'm like, I wouldn't have jerked it for any rabbit or nothing. I would have drove right through him.
No.
And he's like, fair enough. He goes back to the car, and he comes back up, and he wrote me for 94 and a 65, so 29 over.
Good.
30 over was the excessive and take me to jail and impounded it.
It's so easy to get those high-end speeding tickets.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, if you're doing 25 over, that's where you can really get in a lot of trouble automatically.
Yeah.
And they cut your license up damn near right there in front of you.
He was pretty cool, and he goes to hand me the ticket, and he goes, so I wrote you for 94 and a 65, I feel bad for you, but he goes, how fast were you really going? And I'm like, can I sign that first? And then we're good, right? No more ticket. And he's like, yeah, okay. So I was like, 178. And he's like, damn, how'd that feel? And I'm like, it was awesome. The car just sucked right to the ground. I said, honestly, if I wanted to, because there's some power assist in the steering in that car, and if I wanted to jerk the steering wheel, I don't even think it would let me at that speed. I think it really tightens it up.
Yeah, the cop told me, he's like, well, I got you at 101 and a 55. I was like, no, you didn't. Nope, no, you didn't.
Admit to nothing.
Nope. And then he wrote it on the ticket, then he put 5 over at the top of it. I was like, he said, if you try and fight it, I'm getting you for this. I was like, I'm going to pay it right now. So I got to the courthouse, paid it before they could even send it in. It's like, nope, not dealing with that at all. And then got that expunged.
There you go.
Get them all expunged.
Good old cops. So yeah, so I was working in Michigan, and then I got that speeding ticket, and I went and had a great time the rest of the weekend. And then I went back to Michigan, and I got into boating in Michigan because the people I met had boats, and got into the whole Jobby Nooner and Musquemoot Bay and all that. It was so fun.
Jobby's so much fun.
It was awesome.
I mean, I've had friends back home in Michigan that asked me when I first moved out here to Vegas about the boating life out here, and I tell them you can't hold a candlestick to it because it's a whole different atmosphere out here, but back there, it's
the biggest.
It's fun. I mean, Jobby has the biggest tie-off.
Yeah, it's huge.
And it's nasty.
So I was gone for 3 months all summer. I didn't come back to Salt Lake at all then. And when I showed up back for Labor Day to go to the sand dunes, I had a warrant, and I was like, I'll just get through the weekend and I'll pay it and then fly back to Michigan Tuesday or whatever. And of course I ended up getting the Rangers stopping me for having a glass bottle at the sand dunes. Don't have a glass bottle at the sand dunes or at the lake, people. But yeah, he pulled me over to his car because I was drinking a bottle of Jaeger, and I drank about half of it. I totally even forgot. So I'm walking and I'm drinking this bottle of Jaeger, and he's like, "Come here," and I'm like, "What did I do?" And I look at the bottle, I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
So I go up and I'm like, "Hey, look, I've drank half this bottle in the trailer. I forgot." And he's like, "It's all right. Just give me your ID." And I'm like, "It's in the trailer." And then he's like, "No, just give me your social security number." So I ramble it off to him. And then he calls me in, and then I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh shit, my warrant. So I'm like, hey, I might have a warrant. He's like, what do you mean you have a warrant? And I'm like, well, speeding ticket, blah, 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 I didn't pay it. And he's like, oh, why didn't you tell me before? I'm like, I'm drunk, dude.
Didn't come to my mind. There's a lot of things going through my mind. That was not one of them.
I had to stand there for 2 hours with those cops, with those rangers, waiting for the court to get back to finally tell me that they were taking me in. And they let me keep my Jaeger bottle in my hand. I finished that thing. I was hammered by the time I got to the jail, which is another hour and a half away.
Yeah.
It was an experience because I was only there. It was a brand new jail. There was one other person in the drunk cell. I showed up. I was so drunk when they were trying to like do my mug shots and my fingerprints and all that I kept trying to get the girls, the lady cops that were working there, trying to get them in the pictures with me.
We always
That's
try
what
to do
that
that.
was terrible. And then, and then I sat in the drunk cell for 10 minutes, literally, and then my sister shows up with our buddy Vern. Thanks for driving me, Vern. And he was our sober one. And then I had told her to get my debit card and stop at the ATM, because when they decided to bring me in, I asked them what I needed to do to get out, and they said you just had to pay the ticket. It was $489 or something like that. So I'm like, get $500 out of my account and get me out of jail. So I literally sat there for 10 minutes. And then I was gone. Back to the dunes, and dude, that was the best trip of my life.
It'd been great to get like a little police escort going to the dunes. Just make sure you got there correctly, not speeding the whole way.
There's a little more to the story, but I'll tell you off camera because y'all don't need to know that.
Can't say exactly where in these places that we've had happened, so.
Or who else was there.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about the show. So what the show is going to be is going to be an informational show for realtors. So if you're a realtor out there, you might want to tune into the show. I haven't decided how many shows a week I'm going to do yet. It kind of depends how much news is coming out. I actually planned all this before this pandemic stuff broke out. Dude, you're sitting close to the camera. You look so much bigger than me.
I am bigger than you.
That's true. But optics are really off right now. Anyway. I just realized that. I'm seeing it. So for you guys that
I'll
know,
sit back.
Yeah, you guys aren't in the studio. I have a camera set up right there, and then right behind it is a
No, I'm definitely still bigger than you.
TV screen that we're looking at. We can see ourselves. It's also set up with the TV there so that I can pull up articles and stuff like that. And we can real time, pull up stuff to talk about. But yeah, so we're going to try to make this fun, informational. Before the whole pandemic broke out, I had this idea for this show. I wanted to create a show that would be fun to watch, wouldn't be so serious, but would provide news and an outlet for realtors to get up to date with what's going on. And not just realtors, but handymen, plumbers, HVAC techs, title, escrow, lenders, pool guys, landscapers, just everybody in the process of purchasing a home.
DIY.
Yeah, and just friends. When
Little
friends
fun-
stop by,
little
we'll have
fun
them on the
stuff.
show and come talk, and they can put in their 2 cents. I did build my custom desk here to seat 2 guests here. I'm not quite 6 feet away, but I do have my Lysol, so I already squirted him once.
Yeah, he's gotten me quite a bit today. It tastes horrible that time. Wash that thing down a little bit.
But we are being cautious, guys. Everybody should be cautious out there. And then have a beer. You're not using my koozie?
Oh, well, I kept this one on here to keep that one cooler.
Oh.
Because I'll drink the other one too.
Show them my cool koozies I got.
EXP Realty.
There it is. Michael Mayer.
Beer's getting cold.
Actually, my wonderful girlfriend had those made for me. Maggie. I don't know where she got the idea. She just wanted to buy me something. So she bought me a whole box of those. All these different colors.
She's sweet.
Yeah, I'll be giving them out at the lake this summer. So back to the show. I've even got an intro to the show. Where did that go? I'm going to show that to you real quick. And in post, I'll put it up for everybody else to see. Here it is. Let me know what you think.
I haven't even seen this yet.
See that? Let's play it again. So it's got the handshake, right? Because shaking hands spreads viruses. No, it doesn't. Well, it does.
We should do it with gloves.
Yeah, right. In this case, before all the pandemic, I designed this. Deals were closed with handshakes, and real estate deals. We're closing real estate deals. And then I chose the name The Retrade because retrade has a dual meaning. It's RE-trade, the real estate trade.
Okay.
Right? It's a business. And then also, the term retrade actually has something to do with real estate. So once you are in contract to purchase a home, and then you get the appraisal, when the appraisal comes back, the renegotiation of the appraisal and of the home inspection, I should have mentioned the home inspection too, the renegotiation of that is actually called the retrade. Most people don't know that. So, a little play on words there. Sorry, I was just getting some messages. Can I wash clothes? You betcha.
Do whatever you want.
You bet. Don't let the new puppy out. So we really haven't put that out on Facebook yet either, but we got a new puppy. Maggie's old dog, Daisy, finally passed away. Oh, I'm getting calls. Call it back around. Yeah, so anyway, I'll include some pictures of the studio here, show you guys what I've been working on. I will try to nail down how many shows a week I'll be doing. Eventually I'd like to be doing it daily, maybe weekday daily, but it just depends. I'm still working my real estate full. I guess I should update you guys on real estate, where it's at right now. A lot of people think it's just dead in the water, but interest rates are super, super low right now, guys. Actually, Chris's sister, Jennifer, is going to be closing on her house tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to go do a final walkthrough after this taping here. And then, yeah, so I think she's getting a pretty good deal on it. And the appraisal came in way under.
I'm joyful about my rent payment on that one.
So he's moving in with his sister, and he's going to pay his rent for the year by giving her his old boat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you see this boutique out there. It's now Jennifer's.
Yeah, and then I'm going to open up different funding for a bigger boat. I want to be able to cruise fast, so.
He wants to go fast boat, guys.
I mean, I got the smallest boat in our community. Craig Main was pretty close. I think Chris Martin actually had the smallest one now with his new river.
I think it's tiny.
Yeah, so he beat me this year for the smallest boat in our boat community. So I was holding it down at like 18 and a half feet, but small things come in big packages,
So people are still moving up, guys. Not everything's on pause, but the lake is closed down right now, so you'll have to wait till that gets reopened. What else? So real estate has slowed down. It hasn't stopped, but it has slowed down. People obviously are worried about spreading the disease. So as far as like, you're not going to see open houses right now. Sellers aren't really letting buyers come through their houses. Some are. Some will have a bottle of sanitizer right there at the door, or booties and gloves and kind of stuff like that. So just be cautious out there doing that stuff. Make sure you're looking out for the safety of your customers and of course the sellers. Listings, I haven't seen a lot of listings come down, but we have had a lot of people inquiring about if we think the market's going to go up or down or what. I can't say for sure. With as much points as we've lost on the stock market, I can't see that we won't go down some. So I'm not going to call it a full crash. There are a lot of things different this time around that we didn't have in play in 2008. 2008 was actually an economic crash. There was a lot more to it than just this pause. Yeah, people have been laid off work, but a lot of those people will go back to work as soon as they're allowed to. All the restaurant workers, store workers, nail salon workers, all these kind of workers, they're out of work right now. I assume as soon as things are cool and everything opens back up, they'll all be back into their jobs. And I'm hoping people will have some money to spend it on these things to keep everybody going, keep the market going. But who knows? No one has a crystal ball. No one can really predict. But we can say this, with all the money that the Federal Reserve is spending out and what it could potentially do to the value of the dollar, I could see inflation happening after this. Whether it's a lot, I don't know. After the 2008 crisis, we did see a lot of inflation in the housing market and in like banking, stuff like that.
That was some of the biggest jumps we've seen.
It was,
I was still in high school, well, junior high, but I can look back on study it from then to now, and it's just going to get even more expensive nowadays.
It's been good, but we didn't see inflation on
Yeah.
everything else. Where after this, the amount of money they're putting out, and $2 trillion is just now, guys. Understand that once the government gives everybody some checks, that's not the, it's not like, okay, we're done.
No.
This is an election year. There's not a Democrat or Republican running for office that's going to say, let's stop giving people money right now in an election year that are hurting and take this economy before the election. Nobody wants that. So I think they'll keep injecting it. And that's what happened in the last crisis. At first it was $1 trillion, but they had to keep giving money into those unemployment coffers to keep money in people, so we didn't
Keep their
worse
economy going too.
Right, try to get it going. So there's a lot of things at play here, and it also depends. We are a huge exporter of products, and it depends what the rest of the world's doing. If they're not buying our products, that could be a problem too. So the nice thing is that we, as this pandemic is rolling out, we are behind a lot of the other nations in Europe and China and stuff like that. So hopefully they'll have their mess all cleaned up before us, which is good and bad. It's bad that China can get ahead of us in a way, but it's also good in the way that when we do come back online, hopefully everybody else will already be online, so they'll start buying our goods and products right off the bat. So I could see a positive.
Well, there's a lot of, we haven't really, a lot of the nail salons and everything shut down. Like I just came back from Michigan, they had a stay-at-home order. A lot of the industries, the shops and everything, those have not slowed down. And Ford is starting to make masks and everything to keep their stocks going back up.
Yeah, they're planning on making ventilators, actually, 150,000 ventilators, I believe I saw the reports.
They kind of did shut down a couple plants back home, but they're making different strides
Products.
to,
Stay
keep
relevant.
everything going.
And it's in their best interest, guys. It's in everybody's best interest to help us get past this and get back to life as we know it, right? The norm. I do hope this does, one thing I've seen out of this is more community. I hope people have realized now that community is important and that we should be able to rely on our community. So hopefully you and your neighbors all talk and get along and everybody can communicate and help each other out. There's old folks in our neighborhoods. All of us have neighbors that are seniors and they need some help. So reach out to them, help out. Everybody help out. We'll all get through this together. Anything else, buddy, you want to share?
I don't have a whole lot.
All right. So the other reason for doing this quick video today was also for me to work on my post editing to see how it all works out and how the picture looks and the sound and everything. So hopefully the sound sounds right. You can see all this stuff up here on the desk here. It's actually built a soundboard into the desk for the headphones. We got little lapel mics and
well, he actually tucked his under his shirt after I told him to,
well,
because it looks more professional. Yeah. It looks more professional. He had his on the outside of his shirt, and I said, no, tuck it in. More professional. That's why I got rid of the beard too. It's more professional nowadays.
He's professional. He's single, ladies. Single.
Yes, sir.
He's not on Facebook though. You got to find the Fear the Beard and soon to be Where's the Beard.
Where's the Beard LV?
On Instagram. All right, guys.
Fun time.
We will check back in with you later. I see Maggie outside the door there looking to say hi. Right. So thanks, guys. Thanks for checking in, and we will catch you later.
See you.
Stay tuned. Look forward for my show. Most of it is going to be on YouTube. It'll be the retrade on YouTube.